Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about narcissists and how narcissists view love. Are they capable of loving other people? So in order to tease apart whether a narcissist is capable of loving someone else other than themselves, we kind of really have to look at what are we defining as love? And I think this is a question that the answer can vary depending on who we're asking. People often have different ideas, opinions, definitions of what they believe love is. There's a lot of different types of love languages out there. How people give love, how people can receive love can really vary depending on the person. But I think overall, when you ask most people, what is love? What is being in love? A lot of people are going to say, probably a really strong emotional connection to someone. And if we're talking about a romantic relationship, a combination of a really strong emotional connection and a physical attraction as well. A lot of people, when they fall in love with someone, they fall in love with who they are. They fall in love with what they have to offer. And there's other things that can go into it for sure. But I think ultimately, it's forming a really strong emotional bond with somebody. And when we're talking about narcissists, and we're looking at if narcissists are able or capable of falling in love, being in love, really trying to kind of look at where a narcissist is at on the emotional spectrum of things. Are they capable of operating at an emotional level on what we would consider to be the level of love, the love level, emotional level. And so when we dissect on whether a narcissist is capable of love, we really have to look at their level of emotional functioning, which we know narcissists, and if you've watched any of my other videos, have a very low level of emotional maturity. And narcissists, they tend to lack a lot of empathy. And these two things can really kind of muddle what we think about when we think about traditional love. So as far as the textbook definition of love, really strongly emotionally connecting someone on a vulnerable level, narcissists are not very good at doing this. And that is because narcissists often act within their own self-interest. So they like to receive love. They like to have their needs met, but they struggle meeting the needs of other people. So a lot of times when people are in relationships with narcissists, one of their complaints is that they are not getting their emotional needs met. They're not being heard, they're not being validated. Their emotional needs aren't being met, but they are expected to meet the emotional needs of their partner. It's hard to meet someone's emotional needs when you lack things like empathy and the ability to take the perspective of other people, which are two things that narcissists profoundly struggle with. They struggle to empathize with the emotions of other people, and they're very egocentric, which means that they struggle to see things from a different viewpoint that isn't their own viewpoint. So how do narcissists actually view love? Narcissists view love as the extent of how they can get their needs met. So what can this person give me that I need is basically how narcissists tend to view love. And if they're getting what they need from someone, which is usually narcissistic supply, although it can be other things too. It can be financial if you're providing for the narcissist financially. It can be shelter if you're housing the narcissist. Really anything that they can get that meets a need that they have. That is the extent to which they can love. To illustrate this, we can kind of think about going to a restaurant when you're super hungry. So if I go out to eat to a restaurant, I'm super hungry, and I see the spaghetti on the menu, and I'm like, oh, I love spaghetti so much, it's so delicious, this is going to satiate my need of hunger right now, and it's going to be a very pleasurable experience, and I can't wait to eat the spaghetti. And so I order the spaghetti, I'm really excited about eating the spaghetti, and then I eat the spaghetti, and 10 minutes later, I'm full, my need of hunger has been fulfilled, and therefore I no longer need any more spaghetti. So at that point in time, I'm not going to be thinking about spaghetti anymore, I'm not going to be craving the spaghetti, my need of hunger is fulfilled, and therefore the spaghetti no longer has a purpose in my present moment. And at that point, I'm going to discard the idea of ordering more spaghetti because it's not going to serve me right now. This is how narcissists tend to view love and relationships. They value them when they are serving a need that they have. When they are no longer serving that need, or that need has been fulfilled, they discard it. Once that need returns, because in the future I'm going to be hungry again and I might be craving spaghetti, then we're going to love it again, okay? We're going to love it so we get that need met again. And then we're going to discard it after that need is met. And what this cycle really does is reinforce the creation of a trauma bond. So when we look at the cycle of abusive relationships, we have the love bombing or honeymoon phase. And then that lasts for an amount of time, and then we have the discard phase, like, oh, no longer need this anymore. And then once that need is present again, then we're gonna go back into the honeymoon love bombing phase, and then repeat. And this can be a really hard dynamic to be a part of. Like, you don't know what you're going to expect. It's kind of what causes that eggshell feeling that a lot of people talk about. And it's really, you don't know what you're going to get. Is this person going to love me today? Or is this person not going to love me today? Are they going to hate me today? What am I going to be coming home to? It makes a person feel really unsafe in a relationship. This is not a love I would define as a healthy type of love. This is not the type of love where you're going to be with someone that is constantly meeting your emotional needs, that loves and cares about you, that loves you unconditionally. No, narcissists are not unconditional lovers. They are very conditional lovers. And the conditions are that you give them narcissistic supply, that you give them money, that you give them resources, that you give them shelter, that you give them whatever it is that they need. Validation, external validation. As soon as that resource stops, then you're going to see a whole different side of the narcissist come out, okay? And I really do believe that in a healthy love, abuse is not present. Emotional abuse, sometimes these types of relationships can turn to physical abuse, financial abuse. Those types of things do not exist in a healthy, loving relationship. They just don't. I don't know of anyone that's been in a relationship with a narcissist that has said, yes, my emotional needs have been met by this person. We're happy, we're content, I feel supported, I feel valued. Those are not things that a narcissist knows how to do. They are things that they will expect from you. Absolutely. So really, when we're talking about narcissists in love or even narcissists in relationships, it will always be a one-sided deal. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you in the next video. If you have any requests, please leave them in the comments below. I love requests. I want to make videos you guys want.